Dear shareholders, welcome to the shareholders meeting for Tele2. As I'm recording this message, I've been on the job for exactly 5 months, and it's been 5 very active months and very inspiring months. 2020 was a year for a lot of planning, some execution. 2021 is also going to be about planning, but much more execution as we move on with the integration of Tele2 and Com Hem. I'd like to take you through a few of the key highlights of the year and say some words about the steps we're going to take going forward. Let's review some of the key achievements that we have seen during 2020. Tele2 has been on a journey to simplify its structure for many years. And as a part of that, and the increasing focus on being a leading operator in the Nordic and Baltic region, we have sold our activities in Croatia and in Germany in 2020 for further focus on our key markets. And of course, prime among our key markets is Sweden. We now see a good progress in our ambition to drive FMC in the market. This is super important in terms of our next stage development, which is a convergence of our Tele2 and Com Hem brands. The more for more strategy is at the core of what we're doing in Tele2 in Sweden. For us and as a signal to the market, we're delivering extremely important services to consumers and businesses, and we need to have that approach also as a company. That is why we have defined our more for more strategy as part of the FMC plan. We are well on the way to build a stronger postpaid base. We see a natural pre to post migration, and of course, like I said, we're able to get more and more customers over to convergent solutions, which is a key focus area going forward. And Tele2 wouldn't be Tele2 if we were not first to launch 5G. It is part of the challenger gene here to be able to sometimes put down the flag post and say that we were first. And it's cool. It's nice that we can do that from time to time. And here, of course, 5G is much more about winning that first little victory. It is about rolling out 5G for our consumers and for our businesses. And of course, we have now been able to switch on the 100 megahertz spectrum we bought in 30 cities. So if you live in some of those cities, you will have a true 5G experience on your handset available today, not in 2 or 3 years, which is quite important. The plans going forward are, of course, to make that available to everyone. In the B2B business, we've taken big steps during 2020 and into 2021. We have a much better decision-making platform in place. We now have very good visibility on project profitability. We are also more strategic in our approach. We are less volume focused, we are more value focused. And we believe that that is the only way that the overall market can become more healthy for all players. Now, an integral part of that is, of course, for us to be more efficient internally. It's not only about what happens out there, but we have a lot of the parameters in place to be a player that is more surgical and have stronger decision-making capabilities internally in our business. And I'm happy to see that it's starting to give results. In the Baltics, we have tremendous progress. Very happy to see the growth. We also see that this growth comes not with a volume focus, it comes with a profitability focus. We have good control of the costs, and that results in a very good cash conversion from the Baltics businesses. So going forward, it is to keep up the good work the way we are already delivering in these markets. And then down to the last point I'd like to talk about for 2020, which is the group leadership team. It has been very important for me that the organization knows how decisions are being made in the group. We have put in place a normal management team of 8-9 people who meet on a regular basis. I lean on their expertise and competence in our decision making, and I'm very happy to see that that is strengthening processes throughout the Tele2 group so that we can have an integrated decision making that is understandable for the organization. Shareholders, of course, have a legitimate interest in our ability to reward you for your patience and investing with us. In 2020, we delivered 6.2 billion Swedish kronor in dividend through increasing the ordinary dividend and also paying an extraordinary dividend based on our sale of Tele2 in Croatia to the tune of 3 kronor 50 öre. For 2021, we are yet again increasing the ordinary dividend by around 9% to a nominal 6 kronor for the year. And we have said, of course, that we would like to consider extraordinary payments when that is possible. The 6 kroner will be paid in 2 installments, 2 equal installments throughout the year. And then, of course, we will be reviewing our debt ratio, which should be between 2.5 and 3 times, and see what headroom we have for potential further dividend distribution to our shareholders. Our policy remains the same. We're going to hand out at least 80% of our cash flow. And of course, if we have extraordinary events, we will consider extraordinary payments going forward. So overall, I think we are now one of the top 3 to 4 dividend yield stocks at the Stockholm Stock Exchange. We would love to be even stronger in that rating. 2020 was an amazing year for all of us, with lots of challenges, of course. But for us, as a relatively defensive industry, it turned out pretty okay. A very important step was taken early in the year to focus a bit more on profitability and a bit less on growth due to the massive uncertainty around COVID. But when we look at the numbers for 2020, we see that we almost hit the guidance on end user service revenue. We are 1 percentage point behind. If you adjust for reasonable adjustments for COVID, we are virtually flat. And this is typically roaming. It's hard for us to charge our customers when their sports shows and the sports matches don't take place. We have to be fair about that. But due to the focus on profitability and cost, we were actually able to come in a little ahead on the underlying EBITDA, which I think is a sign of strength and an ability to maneuver in times of uncertainty. CapEx is basically in the middle of expectations, partly because 5G was a bit delayed in Sweden, but clearly shows that we have headroom up towards the top end of the channel. And going forward, we expect to remain within the channel that we have communicated. So looking into 2021, and we're already 3 months into it, what can you expect? This year will be the year when we consolidate Tele2 and Com Hem into one premium player. And again, it's only we and the incumbent who have all the building blocks of building a premium player in Sweden. So when we talk about being, or actually I do it with my team, being 1 out of 2 in 22, like Janne Carlsen said for us SAS 25 years ago, we mean that we have a distinct possibility for it. 5G rollout, we had a challenging situation when the PTS made their announcement at the very same morning as I presented the first quarter results on this job. But we have sorted it out. We have clarity around vendors. We have clarity around the capex that is associated with it. We have a great spectrum package. So now it's all about doing the job. We are prepared, and this will be rolled out to 99% population coverage over a 3-year period, which is a pretty good speed. When it comes to the fixed network, it also needs to be modernized for a number of reasons. There is still growth in broadband. We are a key player in the broadband market in Sweden. We also need to work even more on our reliability. Being a premium player is about branding. It is about the offerings, but it's also about reliability and speed. And what we are doing with Remote PHY, and of course what we did in 2020 by digitizing our entire TV business, thereby creating more bandwidth for broadband, those were important steps in the direction of being a key player in the long run also for the broadband market in Sweden. We will have focus on turning around the B2B, and I am pretty encouraged by what I see now. It's always going to be a hard job to turn around a big part of the business, but I'm very, very happy with the approach that's being taken by the new management at B2B. We are giving them support. We are making sure that the B2B unit doesn't work on its own. It's an integral part of this business, and we have an end-to-end perspective on how can we make them be successful. And we have cleaned up some of our portfolios, and customers seem to be positive to that. So 2021 year is going to be a year of hard work, but the plans are in place, and the early execution looks quite promising. And then, of course, costs. We have said to ourselves and to the market and everyone that we're going to deliver on a cost transformation of saving 1 billion. We have reaffirmed that on several occasions. And this year, that means that we're going to deliver a run rate reduction of 500 million by the end of 2021. We are very well on the way to do so, and the entire management team stands behind the ambition, and the plans are, of course, then in place. So I'd like to let that be a summary of where we stand, what our plans are going forward. I would like to thank you for your attention. Thank you for being a shareholder. Thank you for having an interest in Tele2. We're a company that has accomplished a lot by being a fantastic challenger for many, many years. We're going to continue to challenge ourselves and others, but we're increasingly also going to be a company that is associated with a premium product, reliability. We have a fantastic history, and I'm very, very confident that we have a great journey ahead of us also. So please continue joining us for the ride. Thank you.